what a time to get a toothache is Halloween, you know?
That's right. You were at
And
the dentist
it's
yesterday.
actually been about a week now. But I went yesterday because one of my black belts, his wife, it just got, she just opened up her dental practice. And I went down there and apparently I have a cavity under the gum on one of
Ugh.
my teeth.
Ugh.
And it's a wisdom tooth though. So they're probably
Just
just gonna
yank it
have to,
out. Just
yeah,
yank
they're
that
gonna
bitch
have to
out.
pull it. But I was like, yo, you know you're gonna put me out for that, right? So really? Yeah, yeah, really. I I don't do well with instruments in my mouth. I'm a gagger,
Dude,
you
when I
know?
was glad we tell the folks some more about your gag reflex, Sonny. I
Yeah,
think we
well,
really should go
I
down
would
that
be if I was
route.
gay, I would be a terrible boyfriend. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, not good.
It's kicked right to the curb. Oh,
Yeah.
on that note, definitely not for the kids today.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Did we mention trick or treat?
Good stuff. Good stuff. Um, yes. So on that note, let's talk for a few seconds. I got some interesting conversation. I guess a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about a bunch of things. We're definitely going to get into me wandering the streets on ketamine after
I know.
that was
By
a
the way,
fun
I
little
was
interlude
actually in the
yesterday.
dental chair yesterday when you called
That's
me,
right. We
and
were
I
both
had you on speaker, and you're like, I just had some ketamine. I'm out here. Ah.
I got my ketamine treatment yesterday, and I was hungry because I didn't get to eat because I'm doing that intermittent fasting, and my session wasn't until 1 o'clock. And by the time I got out of there, it was like 2:30. So I hadn't eaten all day long. And I left and I was still fucking high as fuck. And you're not supposed to do this, by the way. You're supposed to take an Uber home. You're really supposed to have somebody to come pick you up. They'll let you take an Uber home. They don't really prefer it, but they'll let you take an Uber home if you sign all these waivers. And I just got up and walked out of the place still high as shit, thinking, I'm gonna walk down the street to go get some barbecue. That was an adventure.
Well, at least you made it home.
Ricky, this ain't my first. I wish I could lie and say this is the first time I've wandered the streets aimlessly on ketamine, but it's definitely not true. So, anyway, that was a fun time. Good time getting barbecue. But what I wanted to talk a little bit about, I've seen a lot of things recently, and we were both at the ADCC trials last week in Atlantic City, and notably, there were two female competitors that were transitioning from female to male that both won their divisions. One of them beat Alex Hernandez, I think is her last name. I forget if that's her last name. I apologize. Defeated Jasmine Rocha. And then there was another female transitioning to male. I don't know if I mess it up. I'm sorry. I apologize. That made it to the semifinals in another division. I think a lower division or a higher division than Jasmine. And there's been a lot of buzz about that. A lot of buzz about what is appropriate and when and where is appropriate in competition. I was just curious to feel like maybe we could just chat about that for a little bit. I'm just curious. I have
Yeah,
my
no,
views.
I
I'm
mean,
interested to hear
obviously
what your views are.
it's been a pretty big deal, and
It seems
Naga
like
has,
it's all over the place. Naga, Werther's been talking a lot about it,
yep,
and Mo has released statements about it.
yep. That's because there was a um, male to female trans person, so a male
Right,
masquerading as a female,
right.
went and did a Naga and ended up going against a woman. Now, I think the dude got beat. So in the end, it wasn't really that big of a deal, but it's setting a precedent saying, oh, I guess this is okay. And so a lot of people spoke out and, they didn't want to see it. And then Mo and ADCC came out with a statement saying that you're only going to be competing in the category of the gender that you were assigned at birth.
So I talked a lot with Matt Arroyo about that because we were sitting Matt's side watching those events, and we were one of the girls that I was coaching, someone that I met that was coaching there that actually competed. She lost to Alex, I think, in the first round. And the thing that the rule that Mo gave is that it's okay to obviously if you're transgender, it's fine. You can do what you want to do. It's, approve or not approve, and that's a very touchy subject that, again, I don't really want to get into. However, it is what it is. It's the fucking world we live in now. It ain't going nowhere. But Mo's response is you compete in the division of your assigned birth, no matter what.
Right.
So the only problem with that is, and this is where it gets kind of murky,
The women taking
the
testosterone.
women are taking testosterone. Now, in the eyes of the ADCC, there is no written legalities concerning supplementations of testosterone. However, I mean, if you're a female and you have a male or female student that is transitioning to male and is hopped up on testosterone, you're at a severe disadvantage to that person. And I know Alex pretty well. I've seen her compete a few times, and I've heard, she's a very upstanding person. I know good things. There's just the point of the matter is it fair or not? Is it making it to the point now where females, in order to be
Well,
competitive, you
look,
got to take testosterone?
I don't look at this as a male female issue because the issue of some people being all kinds of drugged out at ADCC
Right.
and
That's
other people not being drugged out has been
that's
going
another
on for
conversation.
years.
Right.
Right. So that's all that is. I mean, there's nothing stopping the other ladies in the division from taking T or taking VAR or whatever the hell they want to take or taking nothing, you know? Um, so, if these women are getting a strength advantage from testosterone, uh, by way of transitioning to trying to become a man or whatever, that's just another person that's taking T. I mean, you know,
Right. I
there's
mean,
no difference in that than if she wasn't trying to transition to become a man and she was taking T, you know?
in our mind as competitors, I don't see an issue with it. There are a few things that are a bit possibly distasteful depending on what your point of view is, revolving around the big picture of transitioning athletes in competition in general, what divisions they should be in, should there be a cisgender division, so on and so forth, however they want to apply it. I think the big issue is the optics of it. And as a society, is this something that we just choose to get used to seeing? And what do we do in the long term down the road? Because you're absolutely right. Like, steroids is a part of the ADCC where there's no anyone, you're putting your head in the sand, and it's not just denial anymore. There was a point where it was like a don't ask, don't tell. Now it's just like, who gives a shit? And we all talk about it. I mean, Gordon Ryan's professed his use of steroids, across the board. Yeah, everybody's doing them now. We don't even try to hide it anymore. You know,
Yeah.
the big question is like, how do we move forward as a sport? Is this something that we're just going to have to start to get used to? Women that are transitioning to males that now are forced to compete in a female division, even though they consider themselves to be males, and they're hopped up on testosterone. It was a weird thing
No,
to
listen,
watch.
100% it's weird. And it's because, I mean, look, you might disagree with me. A lot of people might disagree with me, but these are people that are suffering from mental illness, man.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
mean,
That's the bottom line. And what you're doing is you're taking these people that are suffering from mental illness. It'd be like, okay, it'd be like, I feel like someone who shouldn't have an arm from here down. I shouldn't have an arm. Now, if I really believed that about myself, would the right course of action be to cut off my fucking arm, or would the right course of action be to get me some meds and some therapy? You know what I mean? Some
I
kind of way of curing this fallacy that I think that my arm should be off.
I I will counter that by saying a few things, and I tend to honestly lead towards your point of view on that. And believe me when I tell you, I'm a pretty open-minded person about things like this. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around taking someone and telling them, okay, cool, you were born a male, born a female, and you decided one day that you didn't want to be a male or a female. So let's do all these medical procedures to get you to the next stage of that life. Particularly when we start to talk about kids. And now we're talking about the precedent it sets for kids. Like, they're trying to get these kids 7, 8 years old to determine whether or not what their sexuality is. Hell, when I was 6 years
Yeah.
old, I thought I wanted to be a fucking, a cowboy and archaeologist. You know what I mean? Who knows
Yeah, kids
what
can't
the
be
hell?
trusted to vote. Kids can't be
Yeah.
trusted to drink or
But,
drive
but we can
or
allow them to make this life-altering decision that's
right.
going to change the
It's
course of their entire fucking
yes.
reality for the rest of their existence. Now, just to play devil's advocate, because there is science that backs up the rationale behind these people making informed decisions, that is not a psychiatric break, but they really believe that they are born this way and born that way. Like, I have gotten to the point where I don't understand what this is and why it's happening, but I don't believe there is some nefarious force that is controlling and dictating the world to make these people make these decisions. I think they're making their own choice. And if that's their choice, what the fuck ever. The question is what do we do to allow it to work into our normal lives? Like, and when we talk about athletic competition, that's the big issue. That's the problem. That's where it becomes something that affects my life and the life of everyone else. And I feel like I should speak up about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the question for me is, do you placate people with mental illness or do you actually try to help them? Because I don't think this is helping them. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
if I have a problem where again, I try to use the body dysmorphia example, like I feel like my arm should be off because that's the closest thing I can think of to, the transgender thing. And we would never cut off a limb to help somebody, live a better life. You know what I mean? So why are we giving double mastectomies and cutting off genitals? And it just doesn't make sense to me.
well, I
What these
mean,
people need is not that. What they need is therapy and
it's a hard
possibly medication.
it's a hard world. It's a hard line to walk down, because you could take that example and you can put it towards the other side. Like, I know plenty of, healthy males and healthy men or healthy females that do ridiculous augmentations to their body to create an appearance of themselves that is no way, shape, or form what their natural body would look for, i.e., through breast implantation or getting on HCG or whatever steroids. I mean, guys are actually putting, pectoral muscles in their body to make themselves
Like
look,
implants?
yeah, like to make themselves look like something that they're not.
You can
And
get pectoral implants?
hell yeah, you can get all kind of shit. You can get fucking ass
Where
implants, you get calf implants, you do whatever fuck you want to do. You never
where can
seen
I
that guy?
where
Who
can I
has the
get those
pec implants?
pectoral
I
implants?
got a guy.
You
I
got
got
a
a
guy. Let's talk
I
after the
got a guy. I got
podcast.
a
I
guy.
want to know about
It's
that.
a new sponsor. Teddy, our new sponsors, Teddy's fucking ass implants. I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's hard for me to rationalize. If you want to go, I believe I know plenty of people in the gay community. I've been around the gay community for a long time, and I might take a lot of shit for this because the gay community is very dear to me. Believe it or not, like, I've been around them. That's their life. That's the way they choose to live things. I completely respect and understand that. But, like, just because, and if you want to look like a female, that's fine. If you want to have all the augmentations and look like a female, and that's great if that's the life you choose to lead. But, like, now we start to get to where we talk about the mental delusionment of convincing the world and making the rest of the world call you female just because you decided to do all these things to make your appearance different. Like, you're not a fucking female because you weren't born a female. And people that use that science to convey that message, I just feel like they're manipulating the facts to their own benefit in one way or another. And I just win with that. I don't know. Just felt like
Yeah,
talking
I
about that
mean,
shit.
look, you don't have, and I don't even think you need to preface anything with like I'm friends to the gays. I mean, I don't even think there's a lot of gay people that I know that don't like the trans movement,
Yeah,
the
it's an
trans activist movement.
odd world we're living in
They're
now.
like they're not they're I think a lot of gays that I know they're like, we are not them. They are not us. We are different.
And I'll tell you, man, there are certain parts of my mind. I'm also a business owner now, so just like you said, I'm starting to swing to. Wait a minute, I got to pay for this shit. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My liberal-minded views are starting to shift to fucking go get a job. However, I'm still very liberal-minded in my points of views for situations like that. However, it's hard for me to rationalize now. We are almost forcing it on people, and it's just difficult for me to do that. And
Well,
then
think about it like this, bro. Like think about it like this. Think about like you had a loved one, right? Someone super close to you, maybe a brother or just a good friend, you know? And you saw them suffering and they're talking about they want to become a woman and all this. You want them to feel better, right? You don't want this is your friend, this is your loved one. So you don't want harm to come to them. You don't want them to harm themselves. Like you want them to feel good and be able to get through every day like a normal person. That's what you want for them, right?
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a rhetorical question.
Yeah,
So
you know,
so
I didn't
so
really like that guy.
if it was me and it was a member of my family or someone that I was very dear to that was trying to, a guy trying to transition into woman or vice versa, for that person, I would want them to get help. I would want them to get actual help.
Yeah,
You know, the
it's
kind
just, I just, it's so hard, man. If you want to walk around wear a dress, that's your fucking thing. Whatever your
look,
quirk is, that's fine. That's different.
sure.
You're
It's
gonna cut
easy
your
to
fucking
say
dick off.
when
That's
it's
just a
people you don't know. It's easy to
yeah,
say, I like if I saw a guy walking down the street with a dress on, nor do I give a shit.
right.
What I wouldn't harass him. I would, there's a guy with a dress and go on with my day. I don't care. But when it's someone that I know and that I love, I'm going to try to help them in the most sincere way that I can think of, and that would be to get them into therapy or some,
It,
form of you know, some form of help that's not going to just placate to the idea that, oh yeah, you're a woman, you think you're a woman now? Let's do that,
well, and there's the other side of it is like you can't even, if God forbid you even suggest the fact that maybe you should rethink this, like you're fucking like you're the devil, you're horrible, you can't
Well,
do that.
again, that's these are just the trans activists, and granted, they're loud, but I'm not gonna, live my life or not help my friends or family because I think I might upset a trans activist somewhere. Those people can eat a giant dick. You know what I mean? So, and
Pun intended, kind
yeah,
of.
no, I mean, you know what I mean.
It's some weird.
I'm just their opinion of me is not going to factor into my decision making at all. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. By the way,
Yes, sir.
I want to tell our viewers, our five viewers,
Yes.
about this documentary called American Jiu-Jitsu. How do you say Jiu-Jitsu? Like a female
Oh,
jiu-jitsu.
yeah. Good luck. Jiu-Jitsu, I think it is.
Jiu-Jitsu. I don't
Jiu-Jitsu.
know. I can't pronounce his words. Anyway, it's by Andrea Hickson and man, it's so good. It's really inspiring. I am now, whenever we have a girl come in, either girl in her teens or female student, I'm gonna have them watch this. When they sign up, I'm gonna give them the link and have them watch it because it's super inspiring.
Robert
Super
Drozil's new book
inspiring.
is amazing, by the way, too. Have you read that yet? Do you like
What
to
is
read
it?
Robert Drozil's new book? Have you been reading lately?
Oh no, is this the closed
It's
guard one?
Opening Closed Guard. I listened to already. That one's pretty cool. But it's called The Evolution of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Vale Tudo to Carlson to its democratization. It's a kind of a long title, but it's awesome. The Opening Closed Guard is a good book. It's a little bit more kind of like post, like in the early stages of where jiu-jitsu actually came from when it came over from Japan into
Yeah.
Brazil in that early stages of jiu-jitsu and how it's really just judo, to be honest with you. But the new book talks about how Carlson Gracie kind of got the shaft on his official place in creating what we really know as modern jiu-jitsu. It comes from Carlson and Rolls, and more importantly, Carlson. Amazing book. We should have Drazil on for a podcast. He'd come on in a heartbeat
Yeah,
talk about his book.
there's a lot of things I've read that say that Holes is kind of like the guy that sort of created what we now know as the open guard.
So yes. So when Holes is one of the first to really cross train, he did a lot of he created a lot of what modern jiu-jitsu is, but he gets the nod simply because he trained at Carlson's gym. When Carlson opened up his gym, they had Holes on one half of the gym, and then Carlson on the other half of the gym. But Carlson really is the one that created what we think of now as what the modern jiu-jitsu structure is. Like before Carlson, 90% of jiu-jitsu was all self-defense shit, private lessons stuff, not a lot of live rolling. Only the actual fighters who trained Vale Tudo did actual sparring. Everybody else was just, you had to do the little bullshit like fucking, wrist break and the pull over and all the dumb shit that we all laugh about now. Carlson actually created the template for you come in, you do a warm up, everybody rolls live, you get your sparring in, then you go out and you kind of look to fight. That was kind of his contribution. Holes was one of Carlson's students. So there you go. It's a great book. Really, really good book.
Who
really
then
gives
later
you a good
died in a tragic hang gliding accident.
hand gliding accident. Absolutely.
Because we are always searching for that rush, aren't we?
Not me, dude. Fuck that.
No.
I don't ride roller coasters. Fuck that. I'm way over. I got one crazy vice. I do jiu-jitsu. That's it. I don't need nothing else. I don't even want to ride a fucking scooter. No. I drive like a slow old man. I don't give a shit about nothing. I need no more juice. I'm good. That's all the juice I need. All the juice I need. But anyway.
So that's cool. So that's by Robert Drysdale.
Check out Robert Drysdale. Open and close guard's a good one too. He's got 2 amazing books that really give a very accurate timeline for what jiu-jitsu purpose is, where it became. That's not based on stories, because that's the biggest problem. The story of jiu-jitsu is based upon who could scream the loudest, and the Gracie family could definitely scream the loudest because they were born into circuses. They knew how to market. They know how to get their name out there.
Wasn't there a time when Horian tried to sue people for using the Gracie name in their gym?
Well, they screwed up. They didn't trademark it. He tried, but they didn't trade. They trademarked the
Something
actual
is trademarked now.
Yeah, they trademarked the G. You know what I mean? The G that comes up into the triangle.
When we try to create ads, we can't use the term Gracie Jiu Jitsu in our ads.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I was told that Gracie Jiu Jitsu
by itself.
I was told that Gracie Jiu Jitsu is not trademarked. That could be Hinner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of which, I looked into that. I looked into getting into that combative program that he does. It's ridiculous. It's so fucking expensive.
It's like very expensive.
It's ridiculous.
Look, I could be wrong because I don't know this. I haven't seen it firsthand, but I've heard from a lot of people that the Gracie Academy and their affiliates don't allow their white belts to spar. It's all about the self-defense moves and the gi, and there's no sparring until you hit blue belt. That's what I heard. If that's the case, that's the only thing I would disagree with, is not letting your guys spar.
Well, I read. I mean, you can't deny Hinner and what's the other Halleck and what's the other guy?
Henner and Hidon. Henner and Hidon are amazing at jiu-jitsu.
Amazing instructors, amazing marketers.
Amazing instructors, yeah.
And
these guys are
there was incredible. A time when I was kind of hating on them. Now I'm like, nah, man, they got their thing. I read they had a book.
No, look, you can still hate on them.
Yeah.
Without respect. Like, here's the thing. They are amazing at what they do, and you can't deny that. Henner and Hidon have great jiu-jitsu. They're great instructors. They've built it up, the name and everything. They've done a lot of good. But it's that same thing. Like, here's what I don't like about those guys and that whole ilk. Is that their idea is that, well, what we do is the real jiu-jitsu, and what everyone else does is sort of that fake jiu-jitsu stuff.
That's been their marketing plan from
back
in Rio when Haleo had his gym in the 40s.
Right. But my response to that is always going to be, come roll. You think we're doing fake shit? Come roll.
Well, their response to that is that what you do in the gym is not, there's always an answer. Just like the karate guy that tells you, well, jiu-jitsu is great, but like I train in the real world and I can't show you what the real world stuff is because I'd kill you. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, whatever helps you sleep at night, I guess. But there is something about another one I've been reading a lot. I read the 32 Principles. I'm about halfway through it. I got sick of reading it, but the 32 Principles is a really good book that Hinner wrote that kind of breaks down the 32 principles of what he believed makes a solid jiu-jitsu platform. And then according to each, and he does it really well. He does all these like big corporate things because the 32 principles also translates over into sound businesses, sound lifestyle choices, blah, 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 blah. But when you read the book at the beginning of each chapter, there's a QR code. Hey, puppy, my baby. My mom's going to like this episode. And we get the puppies, and Dusty's in the corner now. I ain't going to get him. But at the beginning of each chapter, there's a QR code that you click on the QR code, and it shows some technique, jiu-jitsu technique that correlates to whatever. Like one is about having a sound foundations. One is about understanding where you're fucking, how to like Kazuki and out balancing and things like that. At the beginning of it, they show a technique video. And as I was watching technique videos, there's usually something that correlates, that follows into their self-defense stuff. I was like, man, like there's some really sound things that revolve around this. And there's something about me inside of my head that thinks that somehow or another that Henner is going to figure out a way to make his jiu-jitsu be the gold standard for coaches and police officers and all these other things to start to focus on to be able to get the credit. So I was thinking about implementing my gym. It's just expensive as shit. It's ridiculous. It's so fucking stupid expensive. Yeah. And I
remember they had a seminar. They were going to do a Leo seminar in Orlando. This is maybe a year or two ago. And it was 8 months away at the time that I inquired about it. And it was something like $800.
That's crazy.
But it said, law enforcement only. And so I said, look, I'd really like to do it. I'll pay the money, but the thing is, I'm not a cop. But I do run a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy. And you know what their response was? If I wanted to go to the seminar, I had to become a Gracie Academy affiliate.
That's what they want. Because they don't
pay
want
them all the money for the affiliation.
And it's expensive.
And then
they want like 10% or something like that of what you make off of. It's crazy.
And then I would have still had to pay the full price for the seminar on top of that. And I'm just like, bro, I'm good, Like
I really wanted to do it because there's a part of me that likes being able to put that piece of paper on the wall that says I am an official Gracie combatives instructor. And I really think I'm all about learning. I really think that there are parts of it that I can implement into my self-defense aspects of jiu-jitsu that would make my game better. But like, I'm not joining your fucking cult. I'm just not doing it. I love you, but I ain't going to do it. It ain't going to happen. I'm not going to be fucking beholden to you now for the rest of my existence. I'll pay you $2-3 grand to get my certification hanging on the wall, but I'm done after that. I'm not giving you no residual fucking income. And that's what they want. Like I would have paid up to about $3 grand for it just to do it if that's all it took. But they want your fucking soul. They want that money keeping the come in.
No, that's what's not going to happen.
Ain't going to happen.
I better not say this. I'll off camera.
Who's going to say it now? Who's fucking watching? What are you going to tell my dog?
I just don't know if it's okay to say. So I'll tell you. It's okay for me to tell you. I just don't know if it's okay to say. Dude, it's funny how there's so many things in the jiu-jitsu community that are like, they're like these poorly kept secrets. It's like shit that everybody knows, but you can't really talk about out loud. So stupid.
What's one
stupid? I'm telling you, when I'm done with this sport, I'm gonna write a book, a tell-all book. I'm gonna just go through everybody's goddamn
of all jiu-jitsu's dirty
jiu-jitsu laundry.
Dirty jiu-jitsu laundry.
I'm gonna expose all of it, man. Here's some shit I heard about so and so.
No one gives a shit. This sport is full of freaking degenerates and freaking shitbirds all over the place. It's our sport, and we try to pretend like it's not there, but that's life. What are we gonna do? I got a really tight face. Man, my head is bald. It's like really like I went all the way up to a 0. And I keep rubbing my head. It's really tight.
You should just shave your head, man. It's so much easier.
I had a shaved head for a while. I'm going bald. I got a little bald spot right
I don't mean go bald. I mean shave your head.
No, but I have I know that, but I have a bald spot on the top of my head that prompts me to freaking just shave the whole fucking thing off. I've been shaved. I've had the shave. I've had it down to a 0 before. It was a good look. I enjoy it. I got a good head. I got a good shaped head.
That's what she said.
Ha ha. Weird. That's weird.
You're in the same place, by the way. Are you still living in the same place?
Yeah. I love it here. Did I pay $1,000 a month to live here?
Dude, I'm not criticizing. I
Yeah,
just, it looks different in the background.
I've changed it. I changed it up a little bit. I
It was,
moved.
for some reason, I feel like it was green or something.
I'm
Dark
painted.
green.
Yeah, I painted and I moved my couch around and I kind of like reorganized when Josh
This
Best
is
moved
much
out.
better.
Yeah, it looks
Dark
it looks
dark green is depressing. I don't know why you would do that.
it looks like a night. Well, I was like that when I moved in and I didn't give a fuck to paint, so I just
Oh, I
left it.
see.
Yeah, I've been living here for a while. I got a roommate. I got a kid that rents out my I got a mother-in-law suite in the backyard. I get $1,000 a month for that. I have a kid that rents out my spare room for $750 a month. And then I pay like $1,200 a month. And this place is like right in the middle of South. It's kind of hood, a little bit on the hood side. Well, take my life in my own hands every once in a while when I'm walking my dog at night or walking out to my car and say a little prayer that I'm not going to get shot. But still in the middle of South Tampa. I love it. I can drive to freaking downtown Tampa and go eat at nice restaurants and shit. I'm not finding anything for $1,200 a month in Tampa anymore. I'll die here. I want to buy a house, but it's like, dude, it's too fucking cheap. I can't move.
You like Tampa, huh?
I love Tampa. We've talked about this forever. I've lived here my whole life. It's just my town. I'm like a big fish in a
I don't know
small
where I'm going
pond
to end
here.
up, man.
Are you moving again?
No, no,
No,
I had no plans to move, but I just
no,
don't know where I'm going to end up. I don't know if I'll end up in Florida.
no more Connecticut.
I could, oh no, fuck that.
Why not
I'm
Connecticut?
never
Too
going,
cold?
bro. I'm never going back to a liberal state. Not after living here.
You would make
Not
it.
after living here.
You would make it.
But I am thinking like maybe Tennessee or something like that, because Kara's parents are bought a house, are making a building a house
Well, you can
in
still.
Tennessee.
I know people that are doing that because you can still actually buy a decent piece of property in Tennessee,
Right.
not have to freaking.
It's impossible in Florida now.
It's
So many
nuts.
people moved here.
It's nuts, man.
It's just the real
Uh,
estate has gone through the roof, and
I'm gambling that the real estate market's going to drop off here a little bit and hoping it does, but I have to suck it up and buy a house
bro, every time that I start thinking
next
about
year.
buying a house, it's always the wrong time. It's always like a seller's market.
I wish I wish that I was in the place to buy a house that I'm in now 3 years ago when my house that I'm living in now is up for sale because the owners wanted to sell it to me for like 240,000. And it's fucking insane. A double lot, the whole thing. That was back when the market, that was back before Tampa became like the spot. And I was going to pull the trigger, but the house needed like another $100,000 worth of stuff, worth of renovations and shit. And at the time, I was a professional jiu-jitsu athlete slash bartender slash I don't know male escort whatever hashtags and slashes you keep it on there to pay my fucking bills. So I had nothing, that doesn't, there's not much on paper when you're living that life. But anyway, now I'm looking for something though. I think I can find something in Tampa that I can at least afford to buy. Hopefully in the next
How far do you live from your job from Trinity?
half hour.
Uh, I live
It's not.
2 minutes from my gym. I love it.
Yeah, that's
Like
that's
I
a
had to
cool
teach the
part.
6 a.m. class today, and I hit my snooze button. Well, I thought I hit my snooze button, but I turned my alarm off, and I woke up again. It was 6:01. Got
You
to the
still
gym
made
by
it.
6:05.
Still made it. Yeah, just ran out the door. Yeah, if I did that, it'd be fucked. They just have to stand outside. We just cancel class. I'm a half hour, but it's not a bad drive. It's straight highway. I live right next to 275. So I get on 275 and I take 275 to the veterans, pay road. And then that drops me off right at my gym. It's about 5 minutes off of the highway. And then I'm right back again. So it's doesn't matter what time of day. It's a half-hour drive, straight shot highway the whole way. I've been doing it for 2 years and it doesn't even phase me anymore now.
So I got this new wrestler in my gym. Not really a wrestler, more of like he wrestled a little in high school, but he's 270 pounds.
Oh,
And talking about let's roll.
ugh, ugh.
Fine. So I'm rolling with this guy yesterday or the day before, I can't remember when. This guy is trying as hard as he possibly can to just not get swept, right? And I'm like, oh, why is he I'm thinking to myself, why is he trying so hard? I don't understand. But then finally, I got on top and he goes belly down. So I choke him. And then I see him roll with some other people and he keeps going belly down. Every time he's on the bottom, he goes belly down. I'm like, what are you doing? So it turns out it's just like a wrestling instinct that he never got rid of
Oh yeah,
because he doesn't want to
they're all
get
like that.
scored on.
They're all like that.
Yeah. But I'm just like, bro, like guys come into the gym and I usually tell them, look, you can fight from your back in here. You don't have to. But he's like so ingrained in him that he keeps going belly down. He keeps getting choked. So finally, I told him, like, bro, stop doing that. Stop going on your belly.
I mean, I know guys they get all the way up to close to their purple belt before they really start to develop a guard. They have a guard if they're on their butt, but it's very like come up for the dog fight, single leg, double leg, blast through, put you on your back. There's zero thought of submission. Maybe they'll rip a Kimura on a white belt if they get to a position where they feel like doing it, but they don't even care about playing off their backs. I feel like,
I mean, at least go to turtle, right?
yeah, but even when they get to turtle, they don't really understand. And the reason, a lot of that comes from freestyle wrestling,
Right.
because they go belly down and they kind of like put their belly as flat on the ground so guys can't get to gut wrenches and roll them over and tilt them to get back exposure and stuff like that.
But I just figured he would learn after the third or fourth time getting RNC'd.
Yeah, but they don't. They figure because they still don't want to learn off their back because they feel so they're so ingrained in their brain to not go to their back that they can't even conceive it as an option. And you have to. I'm kind of the opinion that you can get all the way up to your brown belt before you've completely developed a guard. Well, you won't get your brown belt until you have a developed guard. That's just my opinion.
Well, it's funny because Rob Kahn was talking to me about this, and like remember Chim, Master Chim?
Yeah.
So he was telling me about Master Chim's game one day, and
Chim isn't rubbing off on me a lot lately. I think he's toned the rhetoric down just enough that it's palatable. It was a little bit over the top sometimes. I think he would agree with me too. And he said some nice things about me, so I want to make sure I say nice things. But I have watched. I have grown my appreciation of Chim a little bit over the years. You get more flies with
Chim lives like out in the boonies now somewhere. Like he moved. He's not in New York anymore.
I just envision him like with a massive like battle axe and
that's probably what he's doing right now.
And
probably what he's doing right now.
Living off the grid with his 13 kids.
But anyway, Rob was talking about Chim's game, and he was saying that Chim has a black belt guard. He doesn't submit anybody with it though. He uses it to sweep people.
Yeah,
he's a black belt guard, but he's a sweeper, not really a submitter guy.
Some guys, all they care about from their guard is attacking from the top. I was a very, very top game oriented player for a very long time until I realized that playing off your back is so much easier. I mean, it's literally like, oh, wait a minute, I can just lay here and wait for you to do something stupid. And now I've got you in a triangle or a heel hook and I didn't have to do shit. But you're absolutely right. There are a lot of guys. I mean, there are dudes that are still very, maybe not so much anymore in the modern game. You have to learn how to attack off your back. But there are guys that their entire philosophy from playing from their back is just getting on top. And when you think about jiu-jitsu at its most primal mechanisms and foundations, you talk about like self-defense, martial arts. Right. The process of going from your back to the top is, what you should be doing from your back. I don't care what anybody says. And everyone's going, I'll submit somebody from my back. I said, well, you're stupid if you think that's what you're going to do in a martial arts situation. Like when you're on your back, like you are not winning that exchange. Someone is going to beat you because they can rain down hellfire. You are not.
Well, I mean, careful, because I have seen plenty of videos where dudes will get a triangle and win, a street fight.
Yeah.
A triangle.
It's still
it can happen
when you think about what the process.
Trust me, I agree with you 100%. It's not where you want to be.
You don't want to be on a if you're in someone's if someone is in your guard in a self-defense situation, like you fucked up somewhere. Like you know what I mean? Like you're not. It's called guard for a reason because it's a defensive posture. That's just my philosophy on it.
No, 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean it happens. It is what it is, and yeah, you can attack from there, but you're exponentially more threatened
But
when you're underneath someone than when you're on top of them.
I resent this shit that we see all the time on the internet about people, oh, jujitsu is a terrible martial art to use in a street fight. I hate when people assume that as a black belt in jujitsu, I'm gonna make a bad decision. You know, like I like there's three guys trying to kick my ass, and so my first
I
instinct
know.
is gonna be to dive to the floor.
Yeah, pull guard. Like, come on.
Right. It's like, bro, first of all, three dudes, one of them's getting shot, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And that's what I always tell people. Like, I don't give a shit what your bullshit fucking Sifu is telling you. There is not like
Sifu.
there is not a martial art on the planet that will keep you safe when you have four guys that want to fight you. I fuck you. You're
Maybe four
lying to your,
dummies, but not four
yeah,
dudes that want to beat your ass.
you're lying to yourself if you believe that there's something out there that's going to keep you safe against multiple attackers. It's just not how it fucking works, man. You
But
got three
not
dudes
not
fighting you,
not
you're gonna get
for
your ass.
like, teenage drug addicts. I'm talking about four NFL fucking
Right.
hockey players.
Right, exactly. I don't
You
care
know?
how many fucking dynamite, fucking Joey Dynamite, fucking old black exploitation videos you watched. Like, it ain't fucking how it goes down. Nobody's Bruce Lee in this world. It ain't how it fucking works. You're gonna get your ass kicked
Yeah,
if
I
four
don't
dudes
care
come
if you
at you.
fucking train Krav Maga,
Yeah.
fucking Taekwondo, whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you got four NHL guys trying to kick your ass,
Yeah,
you're getting your ass
you're
kicked
getting
that
your
day
ass kicked.
unless you shoot them.
Yeah, now you might knock the shit out of one of them. That's what I always say. Like, if I'm gonna fight four guys, if I got four guys coming at me, like, two of you motherfuckers are gonna get fucked up real bad because I'm gonna hit you so
Yeah.
goddamn hard you're gonna wake up and shit your pants. But after
Like,
that, I'm
I'm
gonna hope
not
for
going
the
to be the
best.
only guy hurting after this. Let's
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
that way.
One of you is gonna get fucked up real bad. One of you is gonna feel my wrath. Y'all, eventually you might get to me, but I'm gonna fuck up one or two of you really bad. And then
Yo,
hopefully,
speaking of hockey players, did you see that shit about that guy Adam Johnson?
no, I
No,
missed it.
not my buddy Adam Johnson. Like the actual, there's a hockey player named Adam Johnson. He was freaking killed.
Oh,
He was killed on the ice, and a dude's skate hit him in the neck,
was
cut
that
his neck
recent?
open.
Was that
Dude,
recent
it
or
happened like a couple days ago.
Oh no shit! Because that happened. I didn't see that. That happened a while ago. That
Yeah,
happened like years and years and years
that
ago.
happened years
Oh,
ago,
I
but
didn't know.
that
I
the
can't.
guy didn't die.
I'm so out of the loop. I can't believe I didn't see that. Oh God, that's so horrible.
Yeah, it
That's
just
so
happened. Do you know
horrible.
how long ago that was, babe?
Let's Google it.
Yeah, it was definitely within the last week.
Yeah, I didn't. I
The-
didn't.
just put
It's
in hockey player Adam Johnson,
hockey
and I'm sure it'll
player.
come up.
Adam Johnson probably come up. Adam Johnson. JOH injury. Ugh, I don't even want to look at it. NHL throat injury survivor mourns Adam Johnson and complicates what's next for hockey. Yeah, they're gonna freak hockey incident. Minnesota. Was he NHL guy? Yeah, NHL. Or was that he played Minnesota's college, I think. I think he played.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's not a
I
minute. Yeah, it was either a hockey during a hockey game in England. Everybody was a finalist, whatever. Fucking A. Who gives a shit? Sorry, I mean, I care that you died, but I don't want to Google it too much.
just crazy though. It's like,
Yeah, I don't even watch the video.
oh, it's
My
that the video is actually not bad at all. You don't see anything. Remember the video of the guy that lived, the one that you were talking about that happened years ago.
yeah,
That video is bad because you could see blood.
one of my old customers when I used to work at the Palm was at that hockey game, and she said that people were like throwing up in the stands. It was so disgusting. Blood was like everywhere. It was like fucking just gushing out of his throat. She said it was
Yeah,
really, really bad.
he lived though. That dude.
Yeah, that's the actual. They actually interviewed him. I'm reading this thing. It says like something and former NHL throat slicing survivor, NFL throat injury survivor mourns Adam Johnson and complicates what's next for hockey. I'll read
Yeah.
it probably later, but probably not.
It's crazy, dude. All of the crazy things that happen in hockey never come from a fight.
No, like they're like you've got like knives on the bottom of your feet, and those damn sticks are sharp and hard as shit too, man.
Yeah.
Like hockey's, then you get fucking you're playing on ice.
It's just weird because when you never would think that, like, because like they were upright and the dude who got him in the throat. It was like he was falling,
Yeah, it's just a freak thing.
and his foot just kind of went up in
Went
the
up in the
air.
air and man, you
Yeah,
got that. I mean, those blades on your hockey skates are fucking like razor sharp.
yeah, that's crazy, dude.
It is crazy. I was in Ybor City. I wasn't there. I was gonna go out Halloween or the Saturday before Halloween. There was a shooting in Ybor. My friend, one of my the kid who used to be my trainer, Cam, he works in Ybor right outside of the club where the shooting went down. He said they only reported 2 dead and 14 injured. He told me there was like 7 people laid out on the ground that looked dead and about 25 or 30 people that got
This was
shot.
recent.
This is recently, Saturday night. He sent me a video and it is
Was it like a
disturbing.
mass shooting situation, or was it like a
Two little kids,
people
gangbangers,
beefing?
beefing in the street. One guy pulled his gun out. I mean, you're talking about Ybor City at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday night before Halloween. There's 1,000 people, 2,000 people walking around down there. ten
People are
thousand people walking
idiots.
around down. Yeah, it's just bah, 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 open fire. Speaking of blood, he sent me a video because he was right there, right in front. He saw it all go down, and he sent me a video. One of the kids that got shot that was laying in the middle of the street, blood all over the place. It's pretty scary, man. Makes me not want to
Wow.
go out anymore. Makes me not want to do anything anymore, man. Fuck this world.
I saw a meme, and it made me think of me because it said something like, not being able to find a parking spot at an event is enough to make me turn around and go home at this age.
Dude, that's so fucking true, dude. I don't want to do shit anymore.
Drive 30 minutes. I can't find parking. Fuck it. Let's go
It
home.
takes so little to deter me from doing anything anymore. Like, oh man, I guess I'll just go home and sit on my couch and watch
Hey,
reality TV for the next 4 hours.
so speaking of ADCC, you going this weekend to
I'll be
Orlando?
there. Yeah, I'll compete
All
this
right, cool.
weekend.
Yeah, we got a whole crew going, man. We got
Yeah,
um I'm gonna be there. Dave Crawford is competing. Dylan's competing. Anson's competing.
it's gonna be a
This
long night.
this guy, you don't know him, is he's a purple belt under me. His name is well, we call him Joey Baby Oil. He's competing. Um
The mind is racing.
Adam Manning. Adam Manning is competing. And geez, I hope I said Dylan, right?
Yeah,
Dylan, Anson, Dave, Joey, Adam. I feel like there's oh, Raul, I think. Maybe Raul. Yeah, I got a few guys going, dude. It's gonna be good.
it's gonna be a light night. Be ready for it, especially if you got guys doing the absolute. The absolute's not gonna start till 9 p.m. That's
I
fucking
don't
nuts.
know who, if anyone, is doing the absolute,
I
but I
got
do know
one
that
one fucking kid that wants to do the absolute. I gotta stay there till midnight with his punk
you
ass. It's
should
gonna be
just be
like,
like, listen, guy, you're not gonna win.
you're not gonna want to. That's totally kind of don't
That's
think that
fucked up,
wasn't
right?
don't think that wasn't in my fucking headspace. This kid's a savage though, man. He was a college wrestler. He's about 240, 250. He moves
He's
really. He's
got a
a
chance. He's
beast,
got a chance.
learns really well. I got high hopes for him for the future, but he's still only been training for a little over a year. So it's not like he's got
Dude, these guys are getting more and more savage. I mean, look at Nicky Rod when he was a white belt.
ridiculous.
Nicky Rod as a white belt was beating a lot of black
We were
belts.
at that the ADCC, that West Coast trials. I just had a
Well,
picture of it in my phone when
the
they
East
gave his
Coast
blue
trial,
belt.
didn't he get his blue belt at the East Coast trials after getting bronze?
He won third place. And remember, we were there. They gave his blue
Yeah.
belt on the podium.
Yeah, it was Jay, your guy that just did his.
Jay Regabluto, or I can never say his
Yeah,
fucking name out.
Jay gave
Smash
him his
Pass
blue
Jay.
belt.
Yeah, gave him his blue belt. I hung out with
Um,
Nikki in that next. I was there. That
what belt is he now? Is he a purple belt or a brown belt? What is he?
I forget. Did he get his brown belt yet? He might have gotten his brown belt. I think he's still a purple belt though, but he might have gotten his brown belt by now. That's a tough one. I don't really remember. I'm trying to think of a timeline, how long he's been training for, and if he's been training long enough when he got his purple belt. I mean, if he got his blue belt in 2000, it's funny, the picture just came up on my phone the other day. If he got his blue belt in 2017, 2016 or 18. I think it was 2018, I think was the year. That's 6 years ago. So he could have possibly been a brown belt by now. I mean, he's a black belt. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
I still believe that people should have time served before they just give them a black
No,
belt.
I 100%. I agree with you.
I know guys.
But yeah, I mean,
that, but
no, I'm not going to tell the guy like he doesn't have the skill of a brown belt or a black belt because he does.
yeah,
Obviously.
it's just a question of have you committed yourself long enough to earn that black
Right.
belt. That's just the way I look at it. That's I don't care what
Yeah,
anyone says.
it's a shame when you don't see it too often, but you see it here and there where like super talented guys come in, they start doing really well, but then you kind of have to slow them down because it's like not slow down their progress, but you know, it's like, okay, bro, like you're a purple belt now. You're gonna be a purple belt a while, you
Yeah.
know? And then like you see him start to slip off a little bit. Like our buddy Mitch. Remember
Oh,
Mitch?
Mitchy. Oh, Mitchy. I
Mitch
love
came
Mitch.
into the 6 a.m. class
It
today,
was his
but
birthday.
he only showed up because I called him last night and gave him shit for not coming to class lately.
Oh, I'm gonna. Don't worry about that. I will be in touch with you, Mitch. I know you listen to you. Fucking. He's somehow or another. He's listening right now before you've even released it. I know you're listening to me. You better cower in fear. I'm coming for you, little fucking Mitch.
Mitch has 2 jobs now, and I'm like, I don't want to hear your excuses.
You can come. You can come once a week. You can make it in once a week.
Right?
Is he still paying you? If he's still paying you, Jesus Christ, you're paying for nothing. Come take your fucking classes, you asshole.
He is. He is. He's a paying customer. He's just a dummy because he doesn't train when he should be.
Guys don't get that. All you got to do is show up. It's a talent. That's when we go back to, are you truly deserving of a black belt or not? I mean, a lot of people will say, I don't believe that black belt is just based on skills. And I just don't think it is. I think it's based upon, did you do what it takes to get to the point to where you have drinking the Kool-Aid and committed yourself? Like being a black belt is about more than just being proficient at jiu-jitsu. It's about the journey that you took to get there. And just like he said, there are a lot of guys that are purple belts that will murder 90% of the black belts I have come in the room, but are their skill levels at a complete level that dictate them to be a black belt? And a lot of times the answer is no.
Yeah, or their knowledge level, or their ability to teach, their ability to coach,
exactly.
all that.
All of those things. But we're old school. That's just
yeah.
I ain't giving no black belts until you've been with me for 7, 8 years.
Well,
Carl, let's talk about our sponsors.
Well, let me quickly shout out John Combs. He's got a seminar at the gym on December 2nd, so I want people to come to that.
Gracie Bradenton.
Yes, come train with John Combs. And then, of course, December 16th, we got our belt ceremony. We got promoting Dylan Cameron to black belt. And
I'm going to try to make that, but I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, it's good, man. He is such a savage.
We have Lehio Biogenics, peptides,
stem cells,
laser treatments, anything you need to keep your ailing body going. They were there to help you out. They're a great company. Been dealing with them for a long time, way before they started sponsoring the shows. They've been keeping me together for a while. If you're interested in any of those things, hit them up. I imagine you can mention Gracie Trinity, you can mention Gracie Braden, and you could probably even mention the Old Man Grafenauer. They'll give you a good little discount. Then also, no judges needed. Troy Bergano, love you to death. I will speak of Troy Bergano forever and ever and ever, even if you're not listening to the show. Go see No Judges Needed for all your apparel. Anyone interested in sponsoring? We have a vast audience of my mother and 4 of our students that would be very willing to use your products. If you're interested, hit us up.
And I also have can I do like my personal sponsor? It's not for the show, it's just me.
Sonny, do whatever you want.
I want to shout out to Cureleaf. Thank you guys for sending me all the money and all the weed. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Are you lying to me?
I'm looking at your face. You're like, he does not have that.
BMW. Any foreign cars you would be interested in sending us some samples. Yeah, we'll give you a plug.
Sour and Glock.
We'll send you a plug. All right, Sonny, let's call it, man. It's been a long day. All right, buddy.
Peace and love, homie.
You guys be good. Peace and love. Peace and love.